What up, guys? Carolina Jackpot coming at you Sunday morning, broken and defeated. Becoming a ritual now these days. 2 weeks in a row. 3 weeks out of 4. Making a video talking about a loss. I'm not going to lie to you. It's getting old. It's getting real old. I explained in my video last Sunday that yesterday's game was a must-win. It was a must-win. And what do we do with a must-win? We travel out to the middle of nowhere, play in front of a crowd. You ever, some of you probably have, some of you probably hadn't, most of you probably hadn't, listened to the Jim Cornette Wrestling Podcast. He talks about back in the day when they'd go to play in a big coliseum somewhere, or wrestle and work in a big coliseum, big arena somewhere, and it'd be like 1,000 people there, and he'd say, crowd would say it looked like a piss hole in a snowbank. Well, that's what the crowd looked like yesterday at Missouri. South Carolina traveled to the middle of nowhere to Mars to play in a piss hole on a snowbank and laid a turd. Laid a turd against the Missouri Tigers. Positives I can take away from that game. Hey, our defense looked good. I'm not going to besmirch the South Carolina defense. They looked good, especially in the first half. The second half, not so much, but, they're worn down. Missouri was on the field for well over half the game. They had pretty much dominant in time of possession of that game. Guess why? Because South Carolina's offense couldn't move the freaking ball. They could not move the ball. It was horrible. That was the quarterback performance. It was horrible. And I have not seen one from one of our quarterbacks that bad since... I'd have to go back to 2015 when we opened up against North Carolina and Connor Mitch made his first start as quarterback. First and I believe maybe only start. Or maybe he started too, maybe. He was that bad. He was like 9 of 30. This was that bad yesterday. Sailing balls over receivers' heads, out of position. Just, it was terrible. And there were rumors that his elbow was hurt all week long, and it looked like it to me. It really did, because this was not the same guy that played against Alabama. Now, when he came out in the second half, he started to play better, started to look better, started to move the ball somewhat. We got a touchdown pass there, and then all of a sudden, he throws a pick six, and I honestly don't know what he was doing. I don't know who was throwing the ball to. It was horrible. I wanted to go just take my head and just at that point, remember another wrestling reference here. Remember back in the day when old Dusty Rhodes used to get the bad guy in the corner, and he'd grab him by the back of the head and get up on the turnbuckle and take their head and smash it in there, and the crowd would be like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and then the big long pause before he smashed it in for the 10. That's what I felt like doing into the wall when that happened yesterday, because it was that awful. We have, I've invested a lot, man. Invested a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of money into supporting this school and this team. But man, and I'm looking at the stat line. I complained yesterday about not running the ball. Apparently. Now, look at the stats. We didn't run the ball that well. I thought we ran the ball a little bit better than what we actually did. I don't think we had 50 yards rushing as a team. No creativity. Brought nobody else in there. If you can't throw a forward freaking pass, the only other option is to run the ball. They were picking up 5 yards on first down several times in a row, but they just abandoned it. It's like they have to win throwing the football. No, you don't. Just like I said yesterday in the video. Remember when you beat Georgia Southern that time? Or Georgia Southern beat you, excuse me. I wouldn't give him that much credit. Georgia Southern beat Boone, and they threw 0 passes, completed 0 forward passes. Why can't you win? Who cares how you win as long as you do it? But second half, that pick six was that was the end. I mean, that was a 14-point swing right there. You're on the verge. You're going down by 3 points, and South Carolina had momentum, fixing to go into the end zone. That killed it. Again, the play in the first half, the backwards garbage, whatever, bat the ball down. That's just simple. I don't think I think the kid was just, he's still a kid, playing out of his mind at times, and I don't think that he would have done that normally. But once again, somebody didn't do their job. Big guy gets his paw up in the air, up in your face. I mean, he wasn't blocked. Cale Garrett ate him up pretty good. Good football player. He's a good football player. I'd like to have somebody like that on our team. We need somebody like that on the team, a go-getter, a motivator. He's built, go ahead and say it, 2 white boy linebackers between him and Trash Daniel at Kentucky. They kind of remind me of each other, but I'd rather have him than Trash Daniel, because this guy actually seems like he walks the walk. He doesn't just, grab ankles in the bottom of the pile and let's try to twist it and see if we can injure somebody just because, we're not that good. But we'll make a name for ourselves. But anyway, enough about that. We'll see him next week. Now let's talk about that. So we know we can't pass the ball. We know we won't run the ball. So how are we gonna score? I just don't see it. Don't see it happening. What is next week? Next week's Kentucky, or do we have an? I'm so aggravated right now. I'm kind of out of it. Next week, I think it's Kentucky game. Loss. He'll lose that one. I believe we play either Florida or Georgia next. Dang it. Loss. Both of them loss. Georgia game be a big loss. The Florida game probably be a big loss as well. Georgia last night, I was impressed. Notre Dame came to play that game. Another spread pick there goes down the tubes. Georgia fails to cover, almost gives it up at the end, but they held on, beat Notre Dame. Those are both losses. Texas A&M road game, they don't look good this year, and I had warned of this previously that they weren't going to be good this year. Loss. Anyway, Appalachian State, loss. What they do, go on the road yesterday. They beat North Carolina. I warned of this also in preseason videos during the summer of that happening, that they go up and beat North Carolina, and they did just that. And I have a little bit of faith in North Carolina after they beat us and they beat Miami. But then after I see how terrible we are, and pretty much how terrible Miami is, and then there goes UNC dropping 2 games in a row. They are pretty much what I thought they are. Just another crappy team with a vanilla coaching hire, a vanilla, unimaginative coaching hire, just like was made when Muschamp was brought in to run our program. The guy's had enough time. He's had enough time, and one of my subscribers down below had commented on yesterday's video that the Gamecock fans have given him enough time, and they have. They've given him enough love, support, encouragement, time, spurs up, go Coach Boom, blah, blah, blah. Let's jump on the boat, the boom bus, all 4 wheels are spinning. No, I'm done with that. We're all done with that. I have no more use for the man. I don't have any more use for the guy. Get out of town, man. Just go. The season's is shot. It is shot. Before this game, I thought that there was a chance that, we could still win 7 games if we got this one. You're not winning 7 games. And the ones I mentioned previously, those are all losses. The game against Tennessee, that's the toilet bowl. That is really going to be the SEC East toilet bowl. The SEC East has 3 really bad programs in it, and they are South Carolina, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. All of them are awful. that one, I mean, I'm going to give the edge to Tennessee, but to be honest with you, because it's a road game. You know, if it was in Thrilley, maybe, but I don't think so. We'll lose that game. And the Vanderbilt game, I would say that's going to be a win. But then again, I don't know, because at least Vanderbilt can complete a forward pass. At least Vanderbilt can put a few points on the scoreboard yesterday against a much better team than we were playing. You know, I had somebody in the comment section below, and I saw this comment on the YouTube video editor comments, not on the regular YouTube comments. It hasn't popped on there yet, but I guess he's a Missouri fan. He said, this is a passionate dude talking about me or whatever. Popo coming. Well, I broke my little thing that I used to have up here to record videos, so my arm's getting tired. He's talking about me. He said, he seems passionate, but people don't realize that Missouri is building a dynasty. What? Excuse me? You're building a dynasty, yet you're starting a graduate transfer at quarterback? Come on. I mean, he didn't look that good yesterday. He really didn't. South Carolina's defensive line gave him issues all throughout the first half. The second half, once again, wore down. I mean, because they were out there the whole time. But at any rate, Vanderbilt can at least score points against a pretty good team. I mean, gave up a hell of a lot of points too. But I don't call that a sure win. I call it a toss-up. They may win one more game. It may be against them. And the Clemson, the Georgia, the Floridas, you can just put that up on the shelf right now because it's just not happening. All right, well, the picks against the spread yesterday, I don't know. I just kind of eyeballed them for right now. I don't exactly know. Sorry. Don't exactly know right offhand what my record on them was, but I may have been about 50% yesterday. Some really disappointing games out there. So Nebraska failing to cover the spread against Illinois. I mean, you're starting to see who some of these teams are, who they really are. And, they showed me some flashes of being okay. After last week, they blew out a Northern Illinois team, and then they just barely, what was the other one? UCLA, what was it, 67-64 or something against Washington State? My God, who saw that coming? I mean, this is a team that couldn't complete a forward pass 2 weeks ago. Now, all of a sudden, they're completing 3 games worth. It's crazy to try to predict this stuff. It really is. But it's fun, and I love it. And I'll do a recap on it later on today. Don't have time right now. Got to go get a little bit of work done. But I'll see y'all later. And still, man, spurs up to my toes up. Not giving up on my team, my school, but the fact is, they're not a very good football team at all. I mean, they're in quite fact, they're a terrible football team, and I can't sugarcoat it. Nothing. I can't spin it, as the popular term they like to say, spinning stuff. I can't spin it and make you believe that we are. I mean, when we're not. I mean, it's just not. We're just not. We're a terrible football team. And, okay, I'm behind Billy Bob. Get out of Billy Bob's way. We're a terrible football team, and nothing I can say is going to change that. And nothing I can say will make you believe otherwise. So, peace. I'm out. Go Gamecocks. Please fire boom. See y'all later.